welcome back to the next hill. I'm with my friend Chase Grant again. We're on our way to the Smoky Mountains. We're just out here driving in his dad's truck. This thing is a beast, it's huge as hell.
Getting down in the diesel. We're like 3 hours south now, right?
Yeah, we're like 3 hours south. We still have about probably like 8 hours to drive, and then we'll end up in Gatlinburg, which is we're gonna stay for our first night, and then the next day we'll end up hiking. Probably try to get up around 6 and try to get out there. There's not much parking space at all by the trail, so we want to get there before other people.
Making our way through the city. Kind of missed all the buildings. Oh, they're there. It's pretty cool.
It is cool. I like it. Dude, there's hills over there.
Our first hill.
Dude, you have no idea what it's like to have flat land for miles, and then you get this one like hill that's like 500 feet.
Yeah, you're like, mountain.
Mountain.
Look at that. Yep. On our way. Wow, it's beautiful. That's cool.
It really is. You're rolling it up.
Welcome to Gatlinburg.
Here we are.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Cool views.
Super pretty.
See if we can catch it out here. You see that? That's an alpine coaster and a river.
Somehow they have roller coasters like their churches down here on almost every corner.
Yeah, for real. Out here in the Smokies, and it's beautiful. Well, see you guys later.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, I just can't. It's gotta be freaking. You gotta see so much like extra wildlife. I mean, people don't mind it as much either, I'm sure, because it's really not like they're gonna hurt you. But like,
Right.
sleeping out here, you're gonna have these mice coming up
Yeah.
and like sniffing you and shit.
For sure.
And bugs and everything that, like, they're harmless. They're just like kind of creepy and annoying in the way that
Right.
I am nervous about the mice like ruining my gear.
For sure.
So now I'm gonna go back and say that I wasn't crazy, and I think I saw one climbing on your bag while we were sleeping.
Well, that's probably a good guesstimate.
And I heard the noise, and I was like, that's the noise of a small critter.
Yeah.
And then I like, the problem is that I know that the shadows put tricks in your eyes.
Right.
I was staring at your bag because it was coming from over in your corner.
Okay.
And I was staring at it, and I was looking, and I swear to God, I saw movement over top of your bag.
You probably did.
And then I didn't see anything. I grabbed my phone, and I like shined a light even.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything or hear anything after that, so it might have gotten scared off, or it never existed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't really see anything after that.
Yeah, so I think if it was there, it was just checking it out, and then it left.
Right.
Didn't smell any food in your bag. Ripped out.
It probably stays around for crumbs and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, plus, it's got an easy shelter, but then it's just got crumbs and food all the time for itself.
Yeah, right. Some mountain mouse's dream.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe not this one so much. No one comes here, but people probably stop to eat here.
For sure.
That's right. It was so hungry, it's coming to my head.
Right. Hi, welcome back to the next hill. I'm here with my friend Chase Grant again. We went to the Great Smoky Mountains this time in Tennessee. It was pretty great. Well, I guess it's in North Carolina as well, but yeah, it was pretty great.
It was right on the border, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, basically going back and forth whenever we were.
Yeah, it was kind of right on the border. So the drive there was insane. It was like 17 and a half hours. It was quite long.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a good one, though. A lot of podcasts to listen to.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely
music. Actually music the whole time, I think.
Mostly music, a couple podcasts at the end, but yeah, mostly some awesome music.
Yeah.
But then so we passed through like Cincinnati. We had to go through like outside of Knoxville, and then we kind of just checked out Pigeon Forge for a little bit just to see the sights, because the town is so weird. It's definitely like a tourist trap. They have a whole bunch of like weird buildings, like upside down buildings. They have like a Titanic one.
Like it reminds me of like the Wisconsin Dells is another example where they just have like all these weird buildings. Like what was another, like trampoline parks and like big mazes and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was weird, really. And they had the I've been there before, the Titanic Museum. That was
you've been there?
That was cool, yeah. I had gone there previously, yeah.
Man.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
The detail they put in the buildings is incredible. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely check that out. I think it's like where Dolly Parton's like theme park is or something like that.
Yeah, like Dolly World somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so we had some like dinner there just after the drive, get recuperated and whatnot. And then we got to our first hotel. It was pretty nice. It was right on the river.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I know there's a few shots in the video of that.
Yeah, for sure.
The parking was interesting because it was so tight with the truck. Like,
yeah,
we could barely squeeze in there. It was like,
yeah, we took his dad's big truck and getting under that freaking ramp. It was right just scraping against the roof.
Yeah, it was sketch.
Yeah.
But we made it through. And then, really, I think we just planned to, like, get up at, like, early. I don't know what time
we tried as early as possible, after that drive. I think we got up and at 'em at, like, 7 and going.
Okay, so not terribly early, but definitely. We got there good. I mean, it was, like, probably, like, what, an hour? Was it even an hour, like, drive to the actual...
It was probably, like, 45 minutes. I mean, the roads were pretty windy getting there, so it kind of took a little longer than expected. But still, I mean, we got there not terrible time because there was only like a couple cars there. So
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I can imagine in like peak season, it was terrible. Like,
yeah, because there
just
wasn't a
stop
lot
and
of
go.
parking space. So
No,
Yeah.
that was the big thing. I thought was like, you get like enough parking for 3 cars at most of these little vistas. I felt like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Which
really
is-
weird, but I guess that's kind of how you keep the crowds down somehow, because otherwise, I mean, it's going to be bumper to bumper.
Right.
So we started our hike at the Kephart Prong trailhead, and that is a 2-mile hike to where you hit the Kephart Prong shelter. But in between it was a pretty good start to the trail, I'd say. I mean,
Yeah.
you cross a river at the first, and it was very pretty.
Yeah, like we kind of followed a river for a while.
We did, yeah. I
And-
can't remember what branch. There was a couple other branches of the river, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did follow it for a while.
Yeah, because it would kind of zigzag over, and there was these really cool. I loved the bridges they used. It was like basically just one tree trunk cut
Yeah.
down, and then like sanded on top, and you'd be walking over, so you could fit like 2 feet on either side, and you'd be like off the edge over this pretty big river. I mean, it
Yeah.
has some decent rapids.
Yeah,
and,
you would
like,
have to pay
fast-
attention because if you just were taking your eyes off and tripped over your shoelace or something, I mean, you're going down a pretty steep gulch right there.
Yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah.
Definitely some cool shots.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So we didn't stay at the first shelter, but we were making our way to Icewater, which is another 5 miles in.
Oh yeah, so after we passed the
Yeah.
Kephart shelter, we started going to the Icewater shelter, which we were staying at for the first night, and so that wasn't like it was 2 miles for the first stretch up to Kephart, and then after that it was about like 4 more miles we had to
Okay,
to our actual shelter where we're gonna stay at, and it was really nice. It was on top of Kephart Mountain, and it was really pretty because you got to see a sunrise in the morning of all the rolling hills. That was really sweet. But when we first got there, we met a whole bunch of through hikers on the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of nice people. They were so cool. They all had a whole bunch of interesting stories.
Oh yeah, 100%. That was like probably one of my favorite parts of the trip. Just talking to them and seeing why they're out there and like how long. There was one guy who'd already been out for a month on the trail, and I just thought the inspiration behind all of that was really cool. I guess
Yeah, for sure.
and seeing them, and a big part of it was getting to our first shelter was the fact that we didn't actually bring tents, which is the weirdest thing ever for me. And I know you hadn't done that either.
Yeah.
But online, everything said you cannot bring tents, you cannot tent camp, you have to stay in your shelters at all, for sleeping. And right when we got to the Kephart Prong shelter, which we weren't staying at, right there at the beginning, it's a big old sign that said, since basically from COVID on, it said that you could use tents. And they
Right.
never updated the website.
Yeah, they never updated the website. So we're just kind of out here like, should we go back and get it? But then we're like, that's a lot considering how much mileage we still have to do. So we were just like, I guess we'll wing it and just not do it. But still, it would have been nice to have them because the shelters ended up being kind of packed at the first night, kind of like sardined in with the rest of the people.
Yeah, with all the through hikers, that was literally it. I think everyone else was on the AT except us, like maybe.
For sure. Yeah, because our hike was originally to go to from Kephart all the way to Mount LeConte and back around like a loop.
Yeah.
So we weren't on the AT for very long, a couple miles
Yeah,
max.
at most, right?
Yeah.
Totally. But like along that section, I remember going up to. You remember the name of that one scenic point that was like something Knuckle? It was Charles Bunyan. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, Charles Bunyan. Yeah.
Was that the first night or was that after?
I can't remember what night though. I think it was the first night, wasn't it?
Because I think so, because we ended up kind of like realizing because we were realizing how popular that section was.
Yeah.
And a lot of through hikers were going through, and there's like a lot of tourists. I
Yeah,
think
because
they
that's
could,
where
like,
we
get up
ate
there.
at, was on Charles Bunyan.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
on the section next to it, remember, because there were so many people at the Bunyan.
That's
It was
true.
like, it was still part of it. It was
Yeah,
basically
it
a
was
rock.
right next to it, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, that was really nice. That little lookout where we kind of just like snacked on. It was cool.
Yeah, no wind. That
No
was
wind.
Wild, honestly.
Yeah, and then we also had this other place when we were on top of Mount Kephart by Icewater Shelter. That was, I think it was, what was the name of it?
Oh, the jump off.
Yeah,
right?
Jump Off Point.
Yeah.
I think it's what it was called, I believe. And you're like, you can have your feet right at the edge, just like sitting on it, and it's just complete vertically all the way down.
Oh yeah,
Sheer cliff.
it was nuts.
Yeah, it was awesome. And also no crowds, no wind. Like, it was perfect timing.
Yeah, when we got there, it was literally perfect.
Yeah.
Taking off our bags, gone up there to kind of explore some more, really.
Yeah.
And then we ended up being able to just hang out, and like birds were like flying in and landing next to us and stuff, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, sweet.
But-
And then for our second day,
Yeah.
when was really a doozy. We started off our day going all the way up to Mount LeConte.
5 miles up. Yeah.
5 miles up to get to that little fork in the road all the way up there. Then we had to do 5 miles back. But getting there was like a lot of up and down of the switchbacks. Like you think you're gonna be going down for a little bit. You're like, okay, now let's have the uphill section. Then like a little bit after that, you go downhill again. And it's just like a whole bunch of that all the way there.
Yeah, it's like you're like climbing up, but you're doing it in such a like roller coaster kind of way. It was
It was so
something
weird.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a really cool section there, probably, I don't know, halfway up or something, that 5 mile stretch where there was like a rock slide at some point in history that just wiped all the trees off, and the trail went right through this rock slide. So they had a cable tethered to the rock so you could kind of follow that, because it was a little treacherous. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but we definitely used the word treacherous a few times. I think if it was raining, it would be kind of sketch, but
Yeah, it would be.
that was a really cool view. It was
super awesome. Oh my god. It was just a wide angle view of all the mountains. It was super cool.
so like getting up to the top, there's a cabin up there, and or
Or it's like a lodge area with a whole
lodge.
bunch of like places that you can stay at, I think they call it the LeConte Lodge, but like there's a whole bunch of different ones, up there that you can stay at. So we kind of we went there basically for a water source because they had like a little well that you could go through. But they like bleached the water so it's like clean, so you're able to take from it. Otherwise, it would not really be able to without filtering it. But so we
it
got
wasn't
some.
the best.
It
Yeah.
wasn't the best. It tastes pretty bleachy. You could tell.
Oh yeah, heavy chemicals.
Yeah, but
I mean,
what are you gonna do? I mean, when you're out there, you gotta take what you can get.
yeah.
So we did that, and then we kind of looked around for a little bit, at the lookout points up there. Super pretty, wow, awesome places. I definitely recommend spending some time up there once you're up there, taking all the places in that you can get.
Yeah, because we found out you could actually see Gatlinburg down the way from one of the lookouts.
I'm pretty sure you could. Yeah, it looked like it was the same road that we were on when we
Yeah.
were in Gatlinburg.
And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was definitely an interesting section. But
Yeah.
From there, we really got in, and this shelter being the Kephart Prong shelter, because you got to imagine we went 2 miles in, did our loop, made it back to the Kephart Prong, where it kind of shoots back out those 2 miles. So we stayed there, and it's kind of a weird shelter in the sense that why would many people stay on a shelter that's only 2 miles in?
Yeah.
And we kind of I was considering that a little bit on the trail, at least, at least we'll probably be alone tonight because
Right.
it should be. And we weren't alone. We weren't alone.
No.
There's no people, but we weren't alone.
No.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, there's so many spider webs
So
everywhere
many.
too, and
Oh my god.
I'm not just I don't know. I'm not talking I'm not afraid of a couple spider webs or some spiders, but when you're sleeping and the bunks, you're probably got
Yeah,
that
you're
much
face to
above
face
your
with
face.
right. Yeah, they're face to face with you with the webs, and they're just the whole ceiling is covered in it, and you're like, okay, Indiana Jones cave.
Right. Yeah, we ended up kind of sleeping sideways, I think, because the top,
Yeah.
it was kind of tapered where the top shelf, because there's 2 shelves in the shelter that kind of hold 6 people apiece, and we ended up staying on the bottom shelter or ledge and sleeping right on the edge so that we hopefully didn't have to worry about having
Yeah.
the spiders right over our face.
Right, at least that, at the
But-
most.
It did feel kind of exposed. It was weird. It was
But-
a little bit strange.
But with our efforts, it wasn't enough because during the night, this boy here had a faithful mouse that went across his pillow and started nibbling on it.
Yeah, it was just scratching and nibbling on my pillow, and I'm look up, and it's right there. And I fling my pillow real quick, and I see a thing go flying, and yeah, I mean, it kept me up for a little bit after that. I'm not scared of mice, but when you're gonna crawl in my ear, it's kind of okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a little different. You're
Yeah.
get away.
But
So
it was fun.
But I'm glad there was nobody there at the shelter because when we came in, we're we don't want to have to be quiet to
Yeah, right.
like after we're having that long of a trek, we just want to like just be ourselves and unwind, and which luckily we got that chance and just got to chillax before we went to bed.
It was worth it. It was cool.
Yeah, so that was nice at least. And then the last day we had was just 2 miles out, so it would be an easy hike if we didn't have 30 miles prior beforehand that we did.
Right.
And so it was, I mean, our legs were jello. Felt like we had bruises all over us just because we did that much, mileage.
Yeah. It was stiff.
Yeah, it was
Like,
stiff.
Waking up, I was like, I can't move my legs.
Yeah, I couldn't move my legs either. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
hard. It was hard as hell.
Definitely not done more than that. That was the longest day I've ever done of hiking. Like,
Yeah,
by far.
same. For sure. It was worth it, though. It was so worth it because that place was an amazing landscape. I totally recommend it.
Yeah, definitely beautiful. And I would say, like, you do miss the bloom, but, like, spring was perfect because of the, like, having no bugs and mosquitoes was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Our bug spray we barely had to use at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, we brought bug nets. We were prepared, but
Yeah.
it turned out to be good. So
Yeah, for sure.
That was cool.
And so for our first day back, actually, we
Yeah.
kind of explored Gatlinburg since we only had 2 miles to do, crank that out. And so we explored Gatlinburg for that day, and that was so cool. Being able to explore that town. Really nice town, very neat.
Yeah, they're big into alcohol.
They really are, and I mean, hey, we indulged, took every shots that we could each place, sampled what we could.
Yeah, because it's weird, like, Gatlinburg is not set up like they're not like regular bars, They're
No, they're
like
not.
samplers only.
Yeah,
Almost.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Or like buy a bottle. It's like they're trying to sell you their bottles of
Yeah,
whatever it is. And
for
then
sure.
you get to pay. It was $5, right?
Yeah, $5 for like a rack of samples or whatever for like 8 to 10 shots, and so that was really cool. And some places let you do 2 different types of racks. So
Yeah.
I mean, we ended up at the day doing 70 to like 100 different types of shots.
Easily. Yeah.
Easily, and it was insane. I mean, I recommend you going there just to try that out.
There was like this cool cider. It was mostly whiskey, but there was this cool cider place, and there was like a wine place or 2, I think.
Yeah.
Which also had good alcohol, but the cider place was interesting. They had a shot or a drink called the marijuana, and we're like, oh, it's like you can't mix THC and alcohol, like,
Right.
But no, it was just straight alcohol, but like they had somehow like put botanicals in there to flavor it, and it was
Yeah.
the weirdest thing. Like never, that was so unique. I've never had anything like that.
Yeah, the flavor was actually not bad. You thought it was gonna
Yeah.
be too strong because of what it is, but no, it was really good.
Yeah, it was really creative, really, honestly. There
Yeah,
was a
for
lot.
sure. So Gatlinburg was really nice, kind of explored that, and then for the second day, we kind of just chilled out. We tried not to
Yeah.
do too much after all that,
Right. Yeah, big chilling.
We kind of went to this nice restaurant over the Grits Mills. Got some flour from there. Had some nice southern food that I've never tried before.
So good.
So good. Man, your food down there is awesome.
What did you eat? What did you get?
Oh, I had some fried catfish.
Yeah,
Never had
yeah,
catfish in
that's
my
right.
life. Yeah.
That's cool. I know. I think I tried it actually, and it was good. I'm
It was
like,
pretty good, though.
Never tried catfish. I
Right?
like that. So,
And yeah, so that was awesome. Kind of explored around there. He went to a pottery shop.
yeah, I picked up some stuff. It was cool. Really, that was all we did in that section. Because then we moved on and we went back to the same kind of entry road that led to where our hike started. And we just kind of pulled off on the side on like one of the lookouts, but then like lookouts on one side and just forest on the other, and we just like booked it into the woods. And we had like our tents, cameras, or not tents, our hammocks, cameras, and we just like posted up. You really could not get far. Like if it wasn't
You
cut
couldn't get
for
far.
hiking, like you can't get
We got
far.
like 0.3, 0.4 into the woods, like max.
Yeah, and it was too thick. Like
Yeah.
just couldn't do it. We even tried following a stream. It was just like no.
Yeah.
But
But anyway, it was nice spot to just like chill and hang out. We got some nice pictures of stuff around there.
yeah,
Very cool.
And I can imagine no one else has been up in that section of woods and hung out before. So
I can't
it's kinda
imagine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, we kind of went back to where we were, kind of hunt around, and we took some pictures at the river, kind of went inside the river, climbed around that, had some fun on the rocks.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was basically the day. We went to our last hotel, kind of just chilled around until we fell asleep, which was pretty fast after all that. And that was pretty much the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was just heading back up.
Yeah, it's heading back up, just that nice long 17.5 hour drive back.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff.
But
But-
definitely fun.
Yeah, definitely. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything that we did, and I hope that you can inspire to do these type of hikes yourself. It's great out there. The place is beautiful. But this place that we're in right now is Side Production Studio. This place is very awesome. This is where he does his business. Would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, it's sure. It's like really anything is recording studio, production studio, and I think if you're willing, I'll have them throw a link in the description below so you can check out my website and see if there's any work you need done. I guess if you're in the area, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely leave a link below in the description. His work is awesome. He makes such great beats and does really good work with all the people that he does. The people that come in here, he makes really good like mastering and mixing for them. He does really good work.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude, no problem. Thank you for tuning in with us. This is Chase Grant. I'm Sam Gentleman. Have a good day. See you later.
Peace.